So I will officially call this January 28th, 2025 meeting of the Summit Township Zoning Hearing Board to order. We have one variance request in front of us today, but first we are going to do some reorganization and internal board business. So the first thing I'd like to do is get the appointments for the officers for 2025.
I'd like to make a motion to accept, consider the following. Chairman Dwayne Hudak, Vice Chairman Bob Stewart, Secretary Chuck Knight.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second.
Very well. Those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Yep. I think we heard.
Do we hear it? Now, we'd like to make a motion to accept the, consider the solicitor appointment to be Eldrick Law Firm.
Okay, do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And lastly, the approval of the minutes from our last regular meeting.
Motion to accept as presented.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, just for the information of those here, our alternate couldn't make it, so we have him on speaker right now. Okay, the variance before the board is Duff Real Estate LLC. They're looking for a variance on Article 9, 903B, reducing the number of parking spaces required from 33 to 10. Anyone wishing to offer testimony with respect to this variance, please rise. Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
I do.
Very well. And when you come to the podium to speak, would you please state your name and address for the record?
Good evening. My name is Bill Moldovan, Moldovan. Represent the applicant. My address is 750 Holiday Drive, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15205. And I do want to mention the folks on the call tonight, just so that you know they're available. I intend to be the one providing testimony and speaking. If you have questions for them, they are here to provide information to you as well. Those are Trent Rhodes, Perry Phillips, and Doug Barnes from Southern Tire Mart, as well as Tom Cailhan, Daniel Zabak, and Tyler French. They're with Kinley Horn. They're the civil engineer for the project. I also work for Kinley Horn. I do want to pass out to the members of the zoning hearing board a copy of this presentation because we do want to enter it into the testimony as part of the application.
Okay.
Just to be clear, we are here requesting a variance for a reduction in the required number of parking spaces. But we did want to take the opportunity to introduce the applicant, the use for the site, and what will eventually be a land development application in the future. So I'm going to go through a little bit about who Southern Tire Mart at Pilot is, some of their operations and logistics, then get into the site itself, and then the site plan, and then finally the variance request. So bear with me for a few minutes. Southern Tire Mart was formed in 2021. It's a joint venture between Southern Tire Mart and Pilot Flying J Travel Centers. Southern Tire Mart was founded in 1973. It's the largest commercial tire retailer in North America. And the Pilot Flying J Travel Centers is one of the largest providers of travel services in the country, and 750 locations, 44 states, and into 6 Canadian provinces. The Truck Center offers key maintenance and repair services at over 70 locations. Their goal is to eventually get to over 200 locations. In addition to the services at Pilot Flying J locations, the customers also have access to 175 Southern Tire Mart locations across the country. And to be clear, this is not one of those 175 Southern Tire Mart at Pilot or Flying J Truck Centers. This particular applicant for this property would offer preventative maintenance, tire services and sales, alignments, inspections, brake repairs, and fluid changes for the commercial truck customer that visits the Pilot Flying J. And this is just a map of the locations across the country. A little bit about the logistics for the proposed Southern Tire Mart at Pilot. Commercial truck drivers can log into the Southern Tire Mart at Pilot website. They can find the closest locations and even schedule maintenance appointments online. Like I said, it's intended to serve the existing Pilot Flying J commercial truck customers with that preventative maintenance. On average, the maintenance lasts about 2 to 3 hours. And at this location, we would expect approximately 20 trucks to be serviced per day. Yes,
Per shift or per day?
per day,
Thank you.
per day, per location. A little bit about the site. The parcel that's proposed to be developed is to the southeast of the existing Pilot Travel Center, and that's shown at the southeast corner of the intersection of 97 or Perry Highway and Interstate 90. As you can see, I'll get into the zoning district in a little while, but from a characteristic perspective of the zoning district and the neighborhood, it's a mixed use zoning district, single family, retail, the casino, a lot of impervious surfaces within the zoning district. Okay, it's located or situated in the mixed-use regional MUR zoning district, and the proposed use falls within the principal use of automobile services. I am going to bore you with reading the definition from the zoning ordinance just to put it into the record. It's defined as a facility for the servicing and repair of motor vehicles, including engine, transmission, and suspension, overhaul, the repair and replacement of parts, bodywork, including painting and frame repair, tire service, lubrication, and the changing of automotive fluids, but not including the scrapping, salvaging, or storage of junk vehicles. So as you can see on the screen, this purple is the MUR zoning district, and we're bounded or bordered on all sides by similar zoning districts in that MUR. A little bit about the site. What you're seeing on the screen now, this parcel with the blue pin is the parcel that is being proposed to be developed. To the north is the existing Flying J or Pilot Flying J Travel Center. The property abuts Perry Highway. some of the unique physical characteristics that exist on the site that have not been, caused by the applicant include the proximity to Walnut Creek. It's a little difficult to see Walnut Creek on the northern property boundary of the parcel map, but you could see it on the opposite side of Perry Highway. It it travels underneath the road and then underneath the access way between the travel center and the Southern Tire Mart location. Along with that proximity to Walnut Creek comes some FEMA encumbrances. There are some FEMA zones identified and mapped on our property. I'll be able to show you that in a little bit more detail when we see the site plan. But that is a unique feature or physical characteristic that exists on the site. The site also is encumbered by a shared access drive. This is the primary tractor trailer access, entrance and egress into the travel center. So tractor trailers enter and exit in this location. So this is something that will be incorporated into the future design. But trucks come in this location. They travel across the structure that is above Walnut Creek, and then they circulate through the travel center and then come back out onto Perry Highway. There's also a driveway access easement that I'll be able to show in a little bit more detail on the next slide that exists on the property. This is the site plan that has been submitted as part of the application. As I said earlier, we will be coming in for land development applications with this site plan, going before the township to discuss all of the other elements of design that are required to get eventual approvals. This is Perry Highway. We've got the access way in this location that comes across Walnut Creek. These dashed lines represent FEMA mapped floodways that have rules and regulations in regards to what can be built or constructed within those. And then you can see this dashed line that comes up to a radius or a turnaround, if you will. This is that access easement that's recorded as part of the deed for the property. So all of these things that I'm mentioning are existing features that are unique to the site that create challenges for the proposed development. I should note.
The shaded area, is that asphalt or is that just?
Yeah, it is. It's impervious surfaces. I would concrete, just given the I believe it's concrete, just given the truck traffic on it. But that is impervious surfaces to allow the truck traffic to enter the site, circle around, come into the bays of the building, 4 bays, and then leave the site. And I did want to mention that the site in its entirety is 3.736 acres.
Now, will there be any direct access from the road to Pilot?
Yes, and this represents that road access. So we've only shaded the new impervious. The existing roadway is right in this location. And for the folks on the Zoom, I apologize, or Teams, I'm using a laser pointer and pointing, so bear with me.
I understand. I see exactly what you're talking about.
All right, thank you very much. Just a little bit more of logistics. This particular location, or all Southern Tire Mart pilot locations, there's 2 shifts. They employ 6 employees on each of those shifts. The operations will be from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. For providing the maintenance that will occur inside the building. The facility will not generally have passenger cars since the customers are driving their commercial trucks to the location. So I'm going to show you an example on the next slide of a recently constructed facility in Kentucky where 10 parking spaces has been the what Southern Tire Mart has been constructing to serve their particular and specific use, which isn't necessarily identified in your zoning ordinance. Not exactly this slide, but I did want to show some blow-ups of the site plan. The proposed parking locations that we're showing, 10 spots, 4 spaces are to the south of the building. And here's these 4 parking spaces. These are standard parking spaces. We have 3 in this location, all surrounded by curved, islands. And then we have 3 parking spaces at the front of the facility. The federal government requires 1 handicap accessible parking space until you get to a threshold of 25 parking spaces. So one of these parking spaces will be ADA accessible, and because it's 1, it'll be 1 van accessible ADA parking space. And this is the example in Kentucky that we wanted to share with the members of the board. This is in Paducah, recently constructed. I've got 2 views. One is an aerial view from behind the building, and you can see in the upper left-hand corner, there's 7 parking spaces in this location. So they're not adjacent to the building at this particular facility. But 7 parking spaces there, and then this is showing that same facility, the front facade, and similar to what we're proposing on our site, 3 parking spaces in the front of the building. So back to the actual request. I did want to read this aloud again. It's Article 9, Section 903B. The requirement for automobile services is a minimum of 1 parking space for every 400 square foot of floor area, or in this instance, given the size of the building, which was on the agenda for tonight, plus or minus 12,828 square feet. It equates to 33 parking spaces. Our request is to permit the construction of 10 parking spaces where 33 are required. So more specifically, the variance request is for a 23 parking space reduction from the required 33. And again, just to reiterate some of the challenges and the hardships that are presented to us, amongst others, the fact that the zoning ordinance in this township doesn't specifically suggest a facility or a use such as this. I believe the use that we're falling within is more for passenger vehicles, that type of use. This is commercial tractor trailers. We believe that the site is uniquely encumbered with things such as floodplains, existing driveway easements, and on top of that, a challenge to balance stormwater management with the proposed development with this particular use. As I indicated, previously, we have very large turning radiuses for tractor trailers and vehicles circulating through the site. So it does provide a challenge to balance new impervious with locations for stormwater management. And I will get a little bit into the design. Our stormwater management facility is shown in the or it's being proposed in this location along Perry Highway. It's the low part of the site, but it is limited in its space based on the fact that we are trying to tie into an existing access drive that connects to the travel center. So given the number of employees on the site, the expectation that customer traffic will not be visiting this facility, the hardship to fit those 33 spaces as is indicated in the zoning ordinance, it does represent a challenge for us to develop in strict conformance with the zoning ordinance. And we believe that this request represents the least required for us to develop this site for our particular use. I did want to, thinking about the NPC and the 5 criteria that we are, required to bring to this zoning hearing board, as testimony for why we believe we should be granted that variance request. In terms of the character of the neighborhood or the zoning district, we did want to show a couple images from Google Earth. The top one is looking southeast from the bridge that goes over Walnut Creek. Our proposed access or our sites in the on the left-hand side there. We believe that this picture and then the picture at the bottom, which is just spinning around and looking northwest, as I mentioned earlier, it's a mixed-use zoning district. Yes, there are single-family residential uses on the opposite side of the Taco Bell across the street, but there are also uses very similar to ours. We don't believe that granting this variance is going to impact the character of the neighborhood. As I showed earlier, just south of our proposed development is the casino with a large expanse of impervious surfaces. So we do believe that if you decide to grant this or this variance, it's not going to impact the physical characteristic of the zoning district, nor would cause any health, safety, welfare type impacts to the public. So with that said, that concludes my presentation. I'm here to answer any questions. As I said, we have a group on the phone. If I can't answer, others may be able to speak up.
You said the maximum 6 employees at any time. Now, what because you're gonna have 2 shifts. I'm seeing you got 6 to 2, 2 to 10.
Yeah.
What happens at the shift change?
My understanding is that some of those that overlap, the reason that we're not requesting 6 is because there is an overlap in shift time, start times to allow people that are on one shift to get out before the next shift starts.
All right.
So that's part of the reason that it's 10.
Okay. And then where do the folks go that they're bringing their trucks in? Where do they go while their trucks are being worked on?
My understanding is that they have the option to stay there. I guess if anybody from Southern Tire Mart wants to speak up, if there's pedestrian traffic that occurs between the Southern Tire Mart and the Pilot Flying J Travel Center, I would say they could speak up, or we are going to be coming back through with regards to, land development. And I would anticipate all those, questions to be discussed.
Now, if you could quickly go again, what kind of maintenance is being done?
It's routine maintenance for the commercial tractor trailers. So it's tires, fluids, any transmission, that maintenance that.
It's maintenance, but is it replacement of a transmission?
No. It's like I said, the expected time, is 2 to 3 hours. So,
Type stuff.
yeah, it is preventative. It's meant to be almost as I think, a drive-through maintenance that you would come through with your passenger, vehicle. No one's leaving their commercial vehicle overnight.
And Bill, I can chime in if you'd like, a little bit on that.
No, not yet. If we're gonna have someone chime in, this is that's on the solicitor. It's not just a back and forth chat. It is testimony, and so we wouldn't need to swear in any witnesses. So after you're done, perhaps if someone wants to testify, we could do that separately.
All right, and that was Trent Road.
I don't think we need any clarification.
You don't?
On that topic, so.
Okay,
Delivery trucks. I mean, you're delivering parts, tires, oil, where are they parking?
if you have those questions, I would open the floor, to Trent and his team to give you the appropriate answers. They're the experts. I don't think we have a problem doing that. And if we want to swear Trent in and have him provide testimony, I think it would be appropriate to answer the questions.
Okay, Trent, you affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? If
I
so,
do.
Okay. Where would, delivery trucks, you're gonna have a lot of those if you're servicing 20 trucks a day. Where do they park?
So that's one of the reasons for Bill had mentioned the paved area and impervious surface that we've got there. And so if you'll notice on the site plan, I don't know if Bill could pull that back up, but it shows ample area to the rear of the building where the trucks would be pulled to offload. And so that all would happen behind the building.
Any other questions?
Mr. Rhodes, that's on the solicitor for the zoning hearing board. I have that just for the record, your last name is spelled Rhodes.
It is, yes.
And sir, what is your position and your employer?
So I represent Southern Tire Mart at Pilot, and we're the owner's representative for the project.
Thank you, sir.
Right, is there anyone else who would like to offer testimony with respect to this variance? Being none, do we have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept this proposal variance and grant this variance for the parking spots asked for.
Do I have a second?
I second it.
Very good. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that. Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.